go. We got a lot of ground to cover. Thank you very much for coming. Welcome to our January 22nd, 2026 meeting. I'm going to call the roll tonight. We got elections tonight. I'll do this one, and Secretary Treasurer will do it after that. Dickie Kentner, here. Bobby Westbrook. Present. Todd Peterson. Here. Mayor Chris Treat. Here. Mayor Mike Kemp. Here. Jason Temple. Here. Jamie Reagan. Here. Kim Couples called. She'll be a little bit late. She had to take a maintenance man down the highway to a water job, and then she's coming. So we'll have full board tonight. Now I need to get her to sign that. Put that right there, Bobby. All right. We have a quorum present. I declare this meeting open for business. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the December meeting. I'll do a little better job of getting them out quicker. And right here, I would like to say thank y'all for being patient with me. I've had a lot of hospital time the last few months. It's been crazy. That should get better. So I appreciate you not throwing eggs at me. You got every right to holler at me because I've been a little short, but we'll get better. So everybody had a chance to look at the minutes of December meeting. If so, I would entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ms. Rhonda, when you get ready, can we talk about some financing?
Okay. Got all your paperwork from me this month. Todd gave me the obligatory call, which I always appreciate. That was my big word for the day.
That's a good
Anyway, the first thing to look at, that we always look at, is the financial report. It says up at the top, Saline Regional Public Water Authority Financial Report. And remember, this is from December 31st, 2025. We go to that calendar basis. So this just reflects the expenditures and the deposits that came in December. Now, you all know that I went on a Mickey Mouse trip for 2 weeks and was gone. And with the changes in the Secretary Treasurer position, we did not get the checks in the bank that the county did get to us.
Yes.
On time.
My fault, too.
No problem. But just so you know, that when you're seeing that, is it a $24,000 negative balance there in our operating account, we just did not pay Chris any money. No, we held all the checks.
That's right.
We held everybody's checks because I knew, that
Yes.
we had this little time lag there. So,
Mr. Young.
So nothing went out.
Held his checks gracefully. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate everybody being patient until I got back. We got
Yes.
these checks, we got them in the bank, we released everything. Everybody got paid and we have money in the bank. I don't want anyone to think that we went and bounced checks of any kind, because we did not.
No.
But I always show you the real numbers. So there you go. You've got them. That's what was showing in QuickBooks at the end of that month. You'll also see the CDs are there. I haven't gotten any recent interest on those, but they're still collecting interest. The easement account, you see there at $68,000. And then our money market account that's at First Service Bank was showing at $216,000. In my notes, you will notice I talked to you about the $24,000 negative and what we've done. I also let you know that that $100,000 that you had done a proposed loan to the operating account from the meter fee account occurred in January, so it is not reflected on this. Okay? Now, have I just confused the heck out of you? But just remember, this is as of December 31st, okay? The other reports that are there, let's look for just a minute at the ARPA funding report, the running total. You'll see on there, on the 22nd of January, there's two things there that I will release tomorrow. We paid that $127,000 and then a $34,000 easement piece. You'll also notice that I have down there $49,000 in easement checks That number is not correct because Sean asked me just right before this meeting to release some more, but that's okay. We've got the money there. I just want you to, I try my best to keep it right there. And then today, the operating checks that I wrote are $24,000. So we're sitting at about $3.6 million. The checks that I gave today to Sean out of easement are somewhere around $100,000. So, you know, we're still sitting at about that $3.5 million. Okay. Oops. And I think I probably did that thing where I printed those wrong for y'all, but that's okay. You see our statement of financial position that reflects, and I want you to notice that the financial report balance is tied to the balance sheet that comes out of QuickBooks. They're two separate pieces. One is done over here, putting information in, but I check myself because those accounts should balance to the balance sheet that's generated by QuickBooks, and they do. You see my notes, we've looked at those. The accounts receivables report that y'all asked for shows $331,946 in accounts receivables. That is as of December 31st. Those checks all were in the box when I got here and got back on January 5th, 6th, I think it was, that I got here. So actually, they do not owe us anything right now until I send that bill that you saw on the running total, and I'll send that this week. Then the last piece is your monthly billing report that I do. And just so you know, I don't ever put anything on this monthly billing report until I've brought checks to y'all, to Dickie and to the treasurer and all that to see. So the monthly billing, you will see that's going to go out is $34,000 in the easement account and $127,000 in operating. I always get that Christ Engineering invoice in there because it's so big. But you will also notice that those numbers should tie back to your running total numbers that I give you. And they do. Any questions? I just wowed you with all those numbers, right? Okay. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to call me. I will do my best to explain it and to make it clear, and you will help me find mistakes that I do make.
Quick question tied to this. What is our new address?
Oh, the P.O.
We're
box.
going to do it a couple more times too.
P.O. box.
647.
Yeah, 647, that's right, Benton.
Yeah, good catch, because I passed that along to our office staff too this week.
Yes,
and
we did too.
Yes.
They ain't that problem.
I've sent emails, I'll resend emails to make sure that y'all get that. Most everyone has responded to me.
Yeah.
I know that Bobby did a paper receipt when he received your checks and then mailed those to you. Checks are stamps are 54 cents a piece.
Look.
So I've asked most of you if it's okay if I do a receipt through QuickBooks and mail it to you, and those of you who need it have said yes. Many of you have said, hey, our canceled check is our, our receipt. So I will no longer put them in an envelope and mail them to you because I like keeping that 54 cents. It adds up over time. Okay?
Appreciate your job, good.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rhonda. Any more questions? Motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We need to do our election of officers right now. And I would like to say I would like to do it another year if the board is okay with that. And then we'll do the vice president and then secretary treasurer after that.
I move Dickie Kettner be nominated for another term.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now we'll do Vice President now. And we've been working on some things. And I really like the idea of this direction we're going, and I'll speak to that in a little bit, and we'll tie it together real briefly. So, nominations open for VP.
I'd like to make a motion that we nominate Mayor Chris Treat for Vice President.
Second?
Are you seconding it, or did
No.
I'm asking for a second?
Sorry, yes. My bad.
No, we're fine if you do. Yeah, second it.
Yeah, I'm seconding.
Good.
I mean,
Any more questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good, I agree. Now, Secretary Treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Todd Peterson as our Secretary Treasurer.
I'll second that.
Motion second. To have Todd be Secretary Treasurer. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I totally agree. One thing that we're working, there's Kim. Let's wait just a second. No, we'll pick this up when she comes in.
Yeah. That way we can make it totally unanimous.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
I agree.
Kim, very
I'm glad you did it.
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking it too. Perfect timing.
While you're sitting down, if it's okay with the board, you can still vote, or if you have an objection. I was reelected for a year. Mayor Treat was elected Vice President, and Todd Peterson was Secretary Treasurer. You okay with that? Perfect. Thank you. Unanimous. We need to reflect that. Good. Okay. What I was fixing to say is that there's a lot of work going on for the money for this project. And we probably can't speak to all of it tonight, but maybe we can speak to some of it. They like for the cities to be involved. We run into that question a lot where we go. So I think involving our cities in this more maybe will get us some brownie points, if you will, just from listening, and it's a very good thing. We're all working together now better than ever. And believe you me, I was there when it wasn't good. And this is as good as it gets. These two mayors work very hard in Brown, and so it's really good. But a lot of progress and a lot of stuff going on working for our money, and we'll talk about that maybe next month. What do you think, Counselor? If we
when I address with you, I'll mention you.
Sir?
When I address with you, I'll mention you. So
Yes, please do.
nothing.
Touch on that, and we don't have any secrets. We have, never will. But sometimes it's better to withdraw a little thing, a few things, until we get it out there. So we'll drag it along. All right. Old business. Sean, if you're ready, we'll talk about easement acquisitions, and it's been moving, catching speed by the day. Thank you. Done good.
Glad I get to come here and catch a break.
That's right. No, that's right.
No, no, really, we've had a lot of pretty good success just in the last few days, to be honest with you. So I gave you all a different way of looking at the easements and how things are going. It's broken down. There's two different spreadsheets, but there's an intake to terminal reservoir, and then from that coming up to Highway 70. So with that broken out like that, you can kind of see how the progress is coming. Anything that you see that's in complete green is done. Anything that has yellow in the owner name column, we're in negotiations or contacts with them for sure. Over in the other column, the very first column, Volker is the blue. So that's ones that they've been working on. Anything in the yellow, I'm working on. If it's red, we have some sort of issue. Either we can't get contacts for them, or some of them I've sent letters out to and they've returned to me in the mail. So got to figure some of that out. So it's just, those are just flagged as red until we can get some better information. The good thing is, like on the McGeorge ones, they had a meeting just the other day. I haven't heard back from Mr. Jackson, but they were fine with everything. Everything was good. They've just got to go through a lot of hoops to get a lot of signatures. So I expect those three to come in anytime. Did have a little success with Mr. Arthur on some of that stuff, so that's going better now. At least he's talking. Volker had 3 that they have completed. They have 2 more checks out that they're going to pay for 2 more easements. So theirs is going good. The one thing that I think we're going to have to really start thinking about is just how we're going to push things. I really want to load Volkered up with a little bit more now that we know how they work and how everything's going. We've had a little bit of trouble with some of the platforms that we're using to communicate back and forth. So I hope we get some of that maybe worked out a little bit better here real soon. If not, I'll go a different route on how we're going to work through that. So, but the good news, if I can tell a really good story, is right before the meeting today, I did get that half-acre piece of property signed in a warranty deed. So the one that we were wanting off of Congo Road.
Everybody hear that? That's been big, that's big.
So that's a huge piece of the puzzle.
There it is, right there. Yep,
So now
treatment plant, access, yes.
we've got one more little piece to the puzzle on that, and then we'll have full access.
Yes, sir.
into-
Could I tell them at Salem Dairy Bar that we won't be driving by them down there?
That's coming.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll have our own entrance. That was
Yes.
it. And that gives us, I mean, that was a huge piece, just in my opinion, for being able to run both 36-inch main, 12-inch finished water coming
Yeah.
out, and a driveway, of our own going in. So we'll be able to gate that at the end of that road and have high security,
Yeah.
which will be great. So anyway, it'll be a good construction entrance and then turn into a great road. So it's a good win. So.
yes, it is.
And now
Thank you,
now
Sean.
Perry
You
gets
did a
to
good job on
go
that.
after the other one. So he can go after the Purcell property. So.
There you go.
But no, easements are moving pretty good. Me and Brett are going out tomorrow to talk a few more, and I've got 5 checks that I'll be handing out on some more easements, so we'll start the
Good.
move.
Yes, sir. Now, this may be slowed down this weekend and next week,
So,
Get it.
yeah, there'll be a little pause for
That's all right.
a little bit, but
We get
that'll
our
give us a
paperwork
breather
done.
to catch up.
Yes, sir.
So, but if there's any questions on this spreadsheet, I can answer more, at a later date or whatever.
I
But
like that sheet.
just trying to keep up with it a little differently. But anyway, anybody have anything?
No.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Matt, you get ready? Update on our water line progress?
Well, we're moving steady, full steam ahead on all facets of our project. So, all the surveying is complete. We're working on, we have the design complete, probably a third of the design on the raw water line complete. We have CSR is very far along in completion. Water plant is very far along as well on the civil side. We've now engaged our structural engineers and our electrical engineers to come in and start doing their work. So we're shooting to have everything ready to go to bid this summer. And I think that's very realistic from where we're standing, from where we are right now,
When did you say you were going to go up for bids?
this summer.
This summer.
That's pretty good. We waited a long time for that.
I couldn't tell you when this summer, but that's what all of my guys are agreeing with, and ourselves agree with that, and so we've got, yeah, I can show you. We brought some, let me just show you. We got
All right?
This is some renderings of the water treatment plant that we're working on. This is not complete, but it's, gives you an idea of where we're at on things. This is the exterior of the plant, and all this is subject to y'all's review and approval, of course. And that brings me to another point. I'm ready to start having whoever's going to, is there going to be a technical review committee, or, I'd like to start having input from staff, whoever it needs to be, so I'm not just running down this thing in a vacuum. I mean, I know how to design a work plan, if we are, but if there's things that need to be changed, input from the client is very important, and I'm ready to do something twice. So, it's about time for that step, and however y'all want to handle that.
Odd question.
Yep.
When, I'm going back to West Memphis or Memphis, did y'all use that system when you worked on a project? I know you had some big ones.
Yeah, but not, I mean, we're groundwater. I'm groundwater, but different world over here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that if I would bring in my water treatment plant operators who I'd bring in to look at this thing more than me. He would be somebody that could sit in here and probably look at stuff. I mean,
the interesting dynamic we have here is, like, typically we have the water plant operator who's going to be running the plant, who has preferences about things, this and that, to help provide input. And, we don't have a general manager, we don't have an employee. So, and, I mean, I'm not saying I need help with anything. It's just like, if there's preferences, and if there's not, that's fine. I'm just trying to bring it up.
yeah.
But what I do want to get you guys to do, and we've designed a bunch of these plants that are similar to this, that are inside. We never did make a trip to the Lone White plant, did we?
No.
We talked about it.
Talked about it
We never did go.
way back there too.
Well, since then, we built a big water plant in Hot Springs. Have you been through it yet?
I haven't been to it, that's the one I want to go see.
Yeah, so we built a big water plant in Hot Springs, and it's very similar to this, similar but different. And I'd like to take the board on a tour of that plant. Not this weekend.
No.
But at some point in the near future, we can find a day, a Friday afternoon or something, and we could, get a couple buses or something, or vans, and drive over there, or everybody just meet, or whatever y'all want to do. So I can walk you through a similar water plant. We are starting up that water plant basically as we speak, next week.
Wow.
Yeah, so it'll be in service in the next, it'll be in service soon, but it'll be, finished in the next, 60 days. And so I really would like to take y'all over there and just walk you through it. You can ask questions and just see the kind of things that we're doing. I mean, this one's similar but different, better. I just, as we build a house or design something, you get better and better at it over time, right? So that's just an idea. I don't think we're ready to schedule that just yet, but I do want to do that. You can see, you know, all the treatment components of this water plant are under roof, inside of the building.
Here, I'm gonna ask a question,
Please.
because I already see it. You have a single clear oil tank?
Mhm.
What if you have to take it out of service?
Well, you can use robotic technology to clean it out. It's
Yeah, I know, but,
very common for water treatment plant this size to have one clear well.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did it at Hot Springs Village.
it's very expensive,
But-
you know, it's an
but
expensive component.
I wish we had taken that clear well and partitioned it down the middle, so we could take one side offline and have at it. Otherwise, you gotta pay an expensive diver to get in there, and it's slow, and you can be done.
It can be done, I agree.
Yeah.
With technology today, it's just, if it's,
It's kind of it's a concrete structure
I
that
know,
has no moving parts.
I agree.
But this is a good example of what a technical committee can
Yes,
provide
exactly.
back and forth to him.
I will say, even with groundwater, I'm not used to having a single, you have the ability that, hey, take that one offline and put it over here, and we're still operating, so if something, baffle walls tend to sometimes fail over time, because that's what they are, or curtains sometimes fail over time, and you have to get in there and drain it, or valves going in and out sometimes have issues. I just,
It's nice to have
a redundant,
two treatment plants under one thing if you can. If you can afford it.
There's two trains in the plant.
Yeah.
Two trains and everything, but there's one clear well.
Yeah.
But again, it'd be hard for us to find a water plant with two clear wells. I mean, really, there's some probably out there.
Look at Benton.
I could probably think of some.
yeah, look at Benton's.
Ben's got two clear wells.
Yeah, look at West Memphis. I know of two.
I mean, there's probably more, but it's
And I'll also say this, I think it's different if the organization has multiple treatment facilities throughout. If you have one unit that is your plant, that services everything. If you have redundancy of plants, like here, CAW, they have multiple plants, so.
I think Jason's idea is a good one,
Yeah.
to try to design it to where we could isolate one side or the other. That's a good idea.
We can talk shop all night long. That's why you need a technical committee.
Yeah, I agree. I just saw that. Sorry.
No, that's.
When I saw that, that's different to me.
That's why we need to start thinking about putting some people together. Maybe Mariah could be on that sheet.
Yeah, and I don't know what the cost
Good point.
of, because you're right, it's a lot of concrete.
That's an $8 million clear well. So,
Yeah, I know.
and you could build two smaller clear wells
That's,
and split the volume into two would be an option.
what does that do, the cost, is the question, because it's concrete, it's a lot of concrete.
Obviously, everything's about cost.
Yeah, I agree.
Cost out.
Okay. All right,
But anyway, this just gives you a little sneak peek at some of the stuff we've done. All this design is done in 3D and Revit, and all of our designers are using that. So sometime when we have a chance, maybe when spring rolls around, we can all take a field trip over to Hot Springs and
Yes.
check it out.
That'd be good. So we need to keep this in front of us until we get this committee, or until the board decides what they want to do.
That's a board decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sounds good to me.
Otherwise, I've got similar drawing. The intake structure is 80% complete probably, and we're moving along.
It looked good, I saw it.
We've got the raw water contracts broken up into 8. Eight contracts, 7 contracts? So it's not just one big contract, we have busted up, keep it on smaller, bite-sized chunks, so our local contractors can bid on it, and it doesn't get so big where it's $30 million for one contract. So we've done that a lot. So we got all that figured out and got all that broken up. So it's going well. It's going really good.
Good.
We got a whole fleet full of people working on it.
You and I might need to go to Kimsey in the next few weeks. They make that payment every year to us on that property down there that they're sharing the easement on. And they always like to have a yearly thing. I haven't heard from Jeff yet, but we will. So it'll be time for us to go.
Say the word.
And I need to give them the address for Rhonda to send
That
them.
might remind them of the thing you said.
I will. Oh, yes. Yeah. I agree.
You said, yay, Jeff, you just come down and pick up that check?
Yeah. Have it made out. We get there.
Man, I don't see the Judge Brumley statue on the drawings.
Well,
Yes, it is. It's right there in the corner.
it'll be right where his name really big on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
That bronze.
I'm not saying it to be small, that's why I can't see it.
Run of value.
But if you're gonna be out for bid, ready to go out for bids, not that we go out for bids, but if you're ready for it, you're talking about going to the health department in a couple of months,
No, I mean, probably late spring.
late spring.
Okay.
That gives us, 3 or 4 months to
Yeah.
have some
It's
interaction.
mostly, to me, it's like, a lot of it's just mostly architectural things, like, you like this look to the building or that sort of thing. I mean, 80% of what we're building is underground, so it's a big long pipeline from here to there, so much of it's underground.
Wouldn't it be better, and y'all touched on it a while ago, if we didn't use board members so much, so they could go together and work on this, keep that committee together, have maybe one board member on it, and then they can, I'm just talking out loud.
And we don't have to do.
Water
that.
plant
I just-
operator, I heard that, Mariah on there, they could all go.
Yeah, you could have Mariah, Ted, you know,
Yeah, throw Ted right in there.
yeah.
Maybe put this on the agenda for next month, and we'll touch on it again and keep dragging this
Creating
on
that
and
if-
get that committee done.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, no business? Not, we're into new business, and Perry, when you get a chance, would you speak to our RFQ for our municipal advisor? And by the way, Leanne hollered at me before the meeting, she's not coming, she has got a prior commitment, so she can't make it tonight, but
The suggestion was made to determine a financial advisor as opposed to a municipal advisor, when I got the feedback. But it is to provide the authority with counsel on financial matters pertaining to financing, including public and private bond issues and government grants. I have 10, 12 copies of the actual RFQ that's been prepared that I had to send to you. Can I bring a copy?
yes, sir.
It has not been published.
Okay, good. Can we, I'm talking out loud, do we need to act on this tonight? Can we wait till the next meeting?
I would act on it tonight, but you certainly can wait till next week.
All right. Anybody else speak up? It doesn't matter to me, I'm just talking.
I mean, we've already given him authority to actually publish it for the RFQ. I think the key is him basically saying, hey, here it is. If you have any questions or concerns about this, just get it to you by a certain date. And if you hear from nobody, by
That's about right.
what date? That's not
He said,
Tuesday into business, how's that?
Tuesday into business. Might not be good for some of us.
Wednesday after business.
I would say Friday of business, because some of us are going to be focused on something else besides this. I don't want to be.
Sir, essentially just advising the board with respect to timing, sources, options available on getting this financed. And that, I think, I don't have an agenda in front of me, but I think that needs to be a copy.
yes.
But, have we gotten to WIFI yet?
No, sir.
Okay.
Hang on that one, but it's coming.
Long story short, there's a need for somebody with specific expertise in this. And I think that it's a good idea that Leanne had and the board had in enacting it. The question is, if there's any questions, get back to me in the next 10 days, I suppose.
I'd love some time to look at it. If that,
Yeah, but next Friday, and it's just again, it's, the weather coming in, most of us are preparing for that, and we probably won't be in the office Monday or Tuesday.
No?
And if we're in the office, it's bad days.
What do you
well, is it gonna hurt us to wait till next month? Is that, I'm new, so. I'm
Oh.
trying to-
It's just if we don't even publish it till then, at least getting the RFQs, we're gonna be reviewing them next month. That doesn't mean,
Gotcha.
this is just publishing it and getting it out there and getting responses. What we do with them from there,
We're not bound to anything.
that's exactly right.
If you want to be able to review the submissions by the March meeting,
We need to get it out.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
key.
Yeah, that does it right
This looks good.
there.
This looks good. Advertise a couple of Sundays and should be able to get stuff back by March.
and I push the deadline back a week to accommodate the 10 days or 9 days or so it's going to take us to make final comments.
You need a motion to approve this and move on?
So
Have you move on?
I don't think we need a motion, because we already gave him approval to do it. It's just, he's looking for,
I don't think it's redundant.
I would not,
I'm
in
good
my
with making a
opinion.
motion.
No motion. He already got approval to do this, it's just,
So move on, sir.
move on.
What's on the agenda?
I still gave you one. Next thing on here, let's do with you. We'll drop down a couple and pick that up, and then, you got it on your mind. Pick
I
that
got
up.
you on mind.
Remind me what that stands for, would you?
We've heard from 5 different sources about WIFIA. Thank you, Mayor. And I took a deep dive into it about 2 weekends ago. They have a full network of web pages designed for folks with projects just like ours. Minimum funding, $20 million. They're not interested in small projects. In fact, they're really not interested in anything under $100 million. They are, I've heard previously that they were a funder of last resort. After looking at their program, I could not disagree more. I think no matter what we do, we're going to want to get WIFIA funding. And the thing is,
Okay.
to prove to the bond backers that we have the financial capability to be able to finish the project, our complete funding package is going to have to be in place. He's saying bidding in midsummer. That's going to need to be in to actually issue bonds or to get funding from WIFIA or get governmental funding. But when those bids come back, those contractors aren't going to want to wait 4, 6, 8 months to start doing their work. They're going to want tighter notice to start times, I'm sure, than that. They may not. Hopefully not, because the WIFIA funding process takes, on a good day, a really good day, about 6 months, on a bad day, about 9 to 12 months. And there are several factors that impact how long it's going to take and how much their upfront fee that you'll pay as part of closing is concerned. They have 2 prerequisites for applying for funding. You can have either one of those indicative ratings that both Leanne and Bob have been speaking with us about for over a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think being that is not necessarily a prerequisite for your initial funding request, by the time that they close on the loan, they're going to want one no matter what. But the second front door you can use is 2 years' worth of financial profit and loss statements, cash flow statements from the constituent entities. That'll be a temporary Band-Aid until we can get an indicative rating. The amount, over 20 million, I already spoke about that. They will fund up to 49% of your project costs. And by project costs, I mean things you've already spent. Design money, attorney's fees, easement costs. It's all part of the project. They'll fund up to 49% of it. There's 3 programs, okay? Maine WIFIA, the one we'll be looking at, provides loans, and I'll get into how flexible they are and whatnot. The second program provides guarantees for loans, but the woman that was giving me the video webinar didn't even know anything about that program. They say they'll provide a guarantee wraparound to a privately sourced or a state-sourced loan, but they knew nothing about that. And the third one is irrelevant. It's provided to the folks at ANRC. It's called SWIFIA, the State Water Improvement Fund, whatever it is. So we are going in through the Maine WIFIA program. You can qualify, get a rate lock, draw it down over time, delay repayment of anything but interest. Once you're expected to start paying at least interest within a year of your starting to generate revenue. But you can graduate, you can, as they call it, sculpt your repayment amortization. Just as long as you meet that criteria, you can start paying down principal within 5 years. That's very flexible. So it's flexible on the way in, and it's flexible on the way out. And then there's the rate. When they said it was 1 point above the commensurate federal funds rate, I looked at the federal funds rate for 35 years, which is as long as it goes. Okay, and they'll be happy to lend us for that amount of time, 35 years. It's 4.82%, and I said to Matt, I said 5.82% plus a 0.3% origination cost. I'll get back to that. That's going to be tough, but what they meant by 1 point was 1 basis point, not 1 percentage point. 4.83% money that you draw down when you need it. You sculpt your repayment schedule. I'm not trying to sound like a salesman, but I was pretty impressed with this federal government project program that's sponsored by the EPA. Matt was in on the same video call that I was. They have a monthly open house where they sell you one, I suppose. I don't know. I would like the opportunity to at least draft and present to the board. I'll get to the application phase, the stages in a second. Application costs. There's 2 basic application costs. One is it will be applied against, maybe let's do the application sequence first. It might make more sense. The first thing you do is create a letter of interest. It's a formal document that is contained in a fillable PDF on their website. I would propose to fill it out. It's not that hard. They're going to want, at that stage, an outline of what other funding you have. Are you doing things like serving underserved communities? Are you providing cleaner water than some people have, getting them off of well water? How broad is your customer base? What is the scope of your project? What other financing do you have plans to get or have in the works? Okay, you can't do a chicken or the egg thing when you're a funder of one of these projects. You just have to know they're on their way, and you can make your closing contingent on theirs, but you're not going to wait until they say, yes, we have a lock on our other funding. And in fact, once you demonstrate you do have other funding, you can even get WIFIA funds dispersed first before you ever get your either state or private bond funds dispersed. One really nice thing I saw about it is we were talking with Bob over lunch about how many pieces can you slice the loan into so you're not paying too much interest on too much money that you don't yet quite need. You know, your 90 or 180 days of interest on these big chunks of money is a large chunk of money. WIFIA is a lot more time sensitive to when you get when interest starts running on the money that you're using. It's a pain in the neck to issue more than one series of a bond. We'll have a financial advisor to help us decide between, you know, 3 programs: state, the private, and WIFIA, the right mix of those, and when to, you know, consider might be the best time to have withdrawals timed. I would just like to be able to fill out the application. It describes the project, it describes the entity, both of which criteria we meet. It describes what their role would be. We have sources of other funding that have indicated interest. I would think it would be an appropriate time, given that the time horizon is 4 to 10 months, 4 to 8 months. I think we ought to
Get our
apply some
name in the
time
hat.
later.
That's what you're saying, let's get our name in the hat. Any question? Anybody comment?
You need to have a diversified approach. When we're looking for money out there, you just never know which one's going to hit. So
That's right.
I would do this and whatever else we can go after. And I did have one question: has anyone ever worked with WIFIA before? It's funding them, and does NRC they work with them or anything like that?
Matt?
I've never worked with them, but they're fairly new. Did she tell us they were, what year did she say?
The woman giving the webinar was no more than 30.
So
Well,
the act,
It's not a.
2014 is when the act was
Okay,
generated.
yeah, 2014, so it's like 10 years old.
Yeah, 10 years.
I've never worked with them, never even heard of this, but Debbie Dixon at ARC did mention WIFIA as a.
yes.
And she knows about it. Okay, that gives.
And Leanne's.
I'm good. If it's good for Debbie, it's good for me.
Yes.
So no,
Why wouldn't we want her to, I mean,
it looks good. There's a nice little website for it, and that little PDF. I'll email it out to y'all if you want me to.
I've already taken the time to highlight that 66-page user manual.
They got a one-page PDF here that summarizes, and it's got 35 years of terms, 5 years of you don't have to pay until you complete the project. So
And the cost, I'm sorry, let me finish the cost of issuance, okay?
yeah,
There is a $100,000 application fee, not due when you submit your letter of interest. They will either invite you to apply, like basically you're pre-approved, quote unquote, but they're not going to tell you that, or they won't. And if they won't, you never spend that $100,000 in application fee. I mean, I would take a dark outlook to think that a federal government agency would like be clawing at $100,000 without any plan of following through.
how long is the invitation usually open? And does that, I mean, are we hitting something that starts the clock ticking on anything here?
You know, I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that they'll make it as user-friendly as possible. If another year clicks by, they're going to want one more year of updated financials, I can guarantee that, but I don't think they're going to. They have a yearly funding cycle, so there's funding season.
So, real quick, your letter of interest we will need to provide you with our financials, or is that not?
I have not yet gotten through. the
Okay, I'm sorry,
application.
I got you, sorry, I was just thinking of the other letter of
If I
interest.
need it, I'll send a group email and, you know, feel free to shoot me down at that point if you.
I don't mind, I just, I was just asking.
You don't mind shooting
on
down, is that what you're saying? No?
Either one.
Either one, whichever comes first.
And everybody will just, you can send it to me, it's all, of course,
Yeah, I know.
FOIA us, or they could just go right ahead and FOIA the federal
Yeah.
government once we send it there. But I imagine it's all available to the public anyway.
It is.
I'm like Mike, why wouldn't we want to do this? I think it's good. My opinion.
The only question is your billable hours,
Yeah.
him, how many hours do you be billing?
Mayor, if I had to guess,
Yeah.
4 to 6 overall.
Okay.
Put it on our tab, sir.
This,
I'm
not sure.
Do we need a, do we need a motion to just authorize him to do this?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'd like to.
I move we authorize him to go ahead and get going. Why not?
Yeah, I'll second that. Yeah. We need to get going on this because, and you got plenty of help. These guys have done applications before. You got plenty of help if you need it.
And if they have a stop sign or a yield sign because they're waiting for some other, some other source of funding to move a step forward, we'll just pull over on a siding for a couple of months and wait for whatever needs to pass.
Well, you can do simultaneous applications. You just put one in here, as soon as we come across one, we'll do another one there until we get a hit on it, because the only one we have is the NRC, and that's not enough. So we got to get a second one.
I agree.
Or more.
I think the biggest thing I heard is that they are very flexible on the back end. So if you are then, once the organization is actually flowing and producing money and has income, you can then turn around and if you can get some tax-free bonds,
Yeah.
that at a better interest rate. We hope interest rates drop even more, turn around, do a private, bond type, pay these off, and then
That's right.
do it that way.
Well, that 100,000 is considered a down payment on your closing. There's another, it ranges from 50 if you don't quibble and we don't bicker and we don't bargain, to about 150 if we do. There's multiple stages, but there's an actual fee of somewhere between $50,000 and $150,000 for their lawyers to attack it once the real application is submitted.
Okay.
And of course, that's going to have all the bells and whistles, all our organic documents, all the resolutions, all the contracts, everything. So I'm only talking about taking putting a toe in the pool in terms of submitting this letter of intent, and I'd be happy to, at least circulate it with whoever you tell me to. Mr. Todd.
Yes. Any more questions?
I'll read that.
We had a motion to tell our attorney to pursue this. Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agreed. Thank you, Perry.
Thank you.
All right. Report on the email from Bob Hunt on ANRC regarding the financing. I got that email too. They wanted, it says, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, they want to deduct the 7.7 million from the 125 million we were approved for. And that's kind of what we wanted to do. Bond counsel told us do not give up that rating. So, and that's pretty much what that email said, isn't it? That we're still in line for funding. So subtract 7.7 from 125 and it's still sitting there. That means we could hear from them tomorrow or on the other one? We don't know.
I had some quick emails with Chris Vogelager last week, and he said that the money is secure.
Good deal.
But he said, but not for, I don't remember how he put it, but basically not forever.
No.
Project keeps dwindling and dwindling, that could change, but right now we're good.
Another question on that, our 7.7. Do we have any, I know you said it was secure, but we don't have a time or a date when that might hit.
First thing you gotta do is approve it, and there's a place for you to sign it by some date. There's a date in the
Yeah.
before the next board meeting sometime.
All right, we need to do that tonight. Yes.
What
We need it in the minute.
Todd was asking, that last month I think was about the terms. And
Yeah.
of course, that's somewhat it's a standard, that's standard
But
language.
it basically is the same terms almost as the ANRC fund. It's requiring a credit rating and of a certain level, isn't it? And if I read that letter correctly,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
We're getting it from several sources that getting this indicative rating is important and
Yes.
inevitable. That may be something the board might consider doing sooner rather than later,
that's good.
if I may.
So to pursue that rating with our.
It does not include the requirement to have a bond rating like the other one did. It's a lot of the same conditions, but it does not require the bond rating. See, this is, the general obligation bond program is backed by the state of Arkansas, so they're not so much worried about our bond rating anymore, because it's backed by the state. And the other important thing that this doesn't mention is typically, I shouldn't say typically, sometimes these GEO bonds, you can request for deferred payments on the back end. And I've asked Bob twice since he sent that letter out, what is the process for doing that, and what is the process within ANRC to get that approved? Like, I don't know if that has to go back to the commission, or is the staff level to make that decision? And he hasn't replied to me either time. I meant to call him about that. But I would suggest that if you do approve this, and there's a date,
do you have to?
Middle of February or something, I don't know.
When I talked to Bob,
February 13th.
when I talked to Bob to do this, the change of funding, he said after we approve this, the director will sit down and select the terms, and then there will be another place to sign.
I would suggest that we write a letter, in the letter that we send this with, and ask for the deferred payment at that time. As soon as we approve it.
But in order to get this, go up a little. Again, okay, that's too far. I saw where you also have to provide all your funding sources, how the project's fully funded. There's some stipulations.
Number 2 and 6 requires you a detailed financial plan for the entire project. So how do we get this money if we don't have a complete financial plan?
Exactly.
That's my main question.
This is, when I looked at this, I was like, this is, hey, here's some money in another source, but, oh, by the way, you can't get it until you get all your funding and all your other stuff. So it almost is money, again, just out there.
I pick it up what you put down.
Well, I appreciate it.
That's not what they told us in the meeting. They told us in the meeting, we can have this money
That's right.
as quickly as February, March.
Yeah, but that's not what the words say.
That's
I
just
don't
for
think-
closing. We just need to indicate our agreement to these terms in the next 3 weeks. That's just for between now and
Yeah,
closing.
I mean, this isn't a loan closing. I mean, this is just to get it out and set it so they can close on it, but I mean, we've been down this on other projects. They won't give you the loan until you can do the complete project and generate the revenue to pay the loan back. And until we get to that point, can we get this? And if we do get this before we have a complete loan package, my concern is what's the risk to all of us? Now we've got this loan here, and we don't have a complete financial package that will guarantee we will get this project done to generate the revenue to pay it back. Now we're all on the hook for $7.7 million. I mean, this project's got to happen one way or another. We're going to find the money, but we need to get that piece of the puzzle in the plan. I'm thinking before we ever get this. I'd like to have that. I mean, I'd love to have that loan and have all our money, $175, $200 million secured. We're going to get it. Project's going to get done. We're going to generate revenue. Now let's get this. Now there's no risk. This is going to happen.
Well, being allocated, we still have the remaining $117 million that we can include as part of loan project completion, no?
Real quick, so, and, go ahead. Look, back to your original statement, when you say that's loan closing, that's not closing of this loan, that's closing, because I was thinking, well, this is another form of a loan. So you're saying we have to provide all that prior to this loan closing,
We have to give
or
them
the whole of the, or prior to us getting any of this dollars?
Yeah,
Because this loan closing,
this closing, yes, sir.
we have, so prior to this loan closing and us getting any of these dollars, we have to have all of the financial details completed.
Funding sources,
That's what I'm reading. And when I heard you, I thought you were maybe talking about another loan closing later down the road. Okay.
no, but, understanding that if we're gonna let contracts out in July, we have to have that funding in place by then anyway.
I agree.
I don't mean to be debating you at all.
Okay, but I don't know if we'll have easements by July, but we'll see. But nonetheless, I know what you're saying. We've got to have all this stuff before we start issuing, because he did say August or summer. I know what summer is. That's June, July, August.
Summer stretches into September.
It could be September in Arkansas too.
I hedged a bit.
Yeah, he just said summer, he didn't.
Is it,
All right.
isn't this kind of a living document in a way too? Because aren't these things going to be changing along the way? You know, right now, it looks like we'll do it this way, this way, this way, but we may find out that we have funding available in different sources, just like the,
This is why I wish I had a financial person that could tell me why do this versus having
I see it.
knows the ins and outs
I
of
can
this
see where
one.
the sentence can be interpreted two different, entirely two different ways.
this is, number 7 and number 6.
Because I'm used to doing nothing but private bond financing. I've never dealt with ANRC or state rolling funds. That's all I've ever done, just because.
So if the board, first thing is to approve this, get that part done, will that move us not in a dangerous direction?
If we approve it and we sign off and you submit it, what happens?
Yeah,
That's a question, that's not a statement.
yeah.
You want me to speculate? Here's what I think is going to happen.
Okay?
I think what's going to happen is they're going to ask you to fulfill all this information. What is your detailed financial plan? And the question is, if we just say, oh, we plan on getting the rest of the funding somewhere else, I don't think that's going to be good enough for them. I think they're going to want to see you secure that other funding. Then we'll give you this money because that's the surety that this project is going to get done. That's my biggest question. That's what I think is going to happen. This is written kind of like, we might as well get the whole loan, $425 million versus the 7, because we're going to do the same thing.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking, but I would love to hear Bob tell us himself what he meant. I mean, does Bob have an email where he says you can get this money in a month?
They told us that verbally in that meeting.
That's kind of like, so how do
Maybe
you,
certain stipulations.
what's the surety behind that? I wonder, you know what I'm saying?
They want to know in 3 weeks, right, Barry? They want us to
They
approve.
got to have this back by the 13th,
I
right?
agree, but does by doing this negatively, and they're making us do saying you're gonna have to give a full detailed plan of where you're getting all the money from by loan closing, but we don't know that. We're gonna be working on WIFIA. If we get WIFIA, what if this particular loan is not as good as the state revolving fund loan? Are they different interest rates? Is this one lower?
It's a moving dynamic model.
I know, but is this one a better interest rate than where the 125 million? Because I don't want to go and get this money, and I'll get this money if it's a grant. If it's a loan, I want to look at the two interest rates and say which one's better. Because if I got to secure all the dollars no matter what, I want the lower interest rate, period.
Yeah, this rate is higher. But typically, it doesn't say anything about this in this letter, but typically what attracts people to the geo bonds is you get deferred payments. on the back end, which would be helpful for us, of course.
If you can, I agree, if you can get a deferred payment, that would be helpful for us to float some stuff up front. But if we gotta show all of our funding anyway, and these other the other program is available, then,
But see, they know all that, they know where we at on all this.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, but I see what you're saying, what it says, yeah, I agree. I'll try to find out and report back.
Okay. I don't think there's any risk.
For a plan.
So,
Plan, as long as you sincerely hold it and it's based on objectively rational evidence, we plan on going through the remaining 117 million we have on account with you guys, and we plan on going through with you. As long as there are applications in the works or approvals on file, I have no problem with representing. That is our business plan.
I think that's the key thing is plan, yeah, at this juncture.
And we could sign this letter and send it in, and then 6 months later, turn it back. There's no.
Yeah.
if we turn it back, do we still maintain the 125 million obligation?
I don't.
Yeah.
yes.
Or are they gonna say, all right, they're gonna move it, and you sign this off, and if we turn this one around, we done lost?
It reduces down to the
I know,
117.
once we sign it.
But you haven't lost the 117 that's left.
Yeah.
You see,
That's what I told you.
It reduces it by $7 million.
Right. Now, I thought when we close on if and when we close on the 117, all of this kind of melts back together into one final loan, I believe, at that time. And that's what, I think Debbie would do that. But there's no risk to us signing this now and getting this process, because if we're give us the $7 million tomorrow, what are we gonna do with it? I haven't heard that plan yet.
Yeah.
And what I do think it would be good, because by the time we spend all our ARPA funds, $3 million, we're gonna need new money. And in that time frame, if we can line up the remaining financial funding for this project, it'll all sync out just fine. If it doesn't, I don't think they're gonna give us this money until we do get that remaining funding. But at least it's queued up and ready to go. So that part, I think, would be good from a cash flow point of view, to have some incremental money lined up just as soon as we check all the boxes and meet all the requirements.
We told them that, Justin, in that meeting, that we need this money to be sitting there when that Recovery Act money, as it runs out. We
Right.
don't want to just be sitting, waiting for that, we want it in there, so they're aware of that.
And we can start some construction.
Again, the key thing is that if they don't have this signed and backed by the 13th, it's like we are not accept, we're turning down their loan.
And they could say, if you don't take this, are you really interested in the 125?
That's
I think you've got something there. I think you're right.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not,
I think we have to authorize her to go ahead and sign and do
see
it.
what they say. Because, again, we're gonna have this conversation again. We're not obligated until the loan closes, and
Right.
I like to see how this plays out, actually.
Todd?
I don't disagree that it probably, in the face of perception, it's probably best that we ask for the 7.7 million.
Okay.
The only thing I'm concerned about, and I guess 7.7 in a matter of $200 million, we'll find another 7 somehow. But, is that if you can defer the payments and get the money up front and help get this thing, this is perfect. But if you can't do that, then it's a waste, and then at a higher interest rate, it's actually going to end up after the fact costing us money to get this money.
Well, they told us point blank, they would rather us be in the GEO bond program
Yes.
than the SRI program.
Yes,
They
absolutely.
told us point
All
blank.
right.
Yep.
But they don't have that kind of money in the GEO bond program. They only can do 30 million a year, or actually 60 million over 2 years. And the GEO bond program is fading away unless it gets voted back in at the polls in November this year. It's actually going to be on the ballot to get reauthorized for another 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's got to be, that's another contingency. Now, that doesn't affect this 7 million, but What they would like to do is just flip it all over to the U bond program, because that's backed by the state, and then all their concerns about our bond rating and everything go away.
Right.
So, but it does have a carry higher interest rate. It does carry higher interest rate, like a point higher.
Yeah, if I can, mention two last things on financing. I think as Bob pointed out, as the folks in Whitfield pointed out, an indicative rating is an important step, and the sooner the better on that. And the other thing is, we really do have the opportunity to pursue all three sides, all three sources of funding. We don't have to make a final decision as to even applying to WIFI in that case, but going to a closing table certainly in either private bond funds. And at this point, we have, hope, and we have good faith indications the state's going to continue to fund us, but we don't have guarantees at this point. In fact, what we had was a request to get off their list.
Although he told me we're secure right now.
Yeah.
That's better news than we got last year. My only hope is that you'll allow Dickey to pursue the financing aspect through the private bond markets.
Yes.
And
We'll keep that going.
He reports back, and I don't know if there's a vote needed, but I'll do the WIFIA thing, and I'll provide you all copies.
All right. So, two motions maybe to approve this, and the other one is that indicative rating. What would be involved? Does Leanne do that?
I would say let's wait till we get, I don't disagree, I think we need to wait.
Okay.
Bob has put it to us that the sooner the better. He has investors.
But I think the issue is going to be to get an indicative rating, they're going to want to look at your contracts that you have with each entity. And because you're looking at changing the contracts with each entity, it's no reason to, if we change our contracts with each entity, we might want to make those contracts more conducive for bond ratings. That's where we need to have bond counsel looking at them. That's why I'm saying we need to wait.
Okay, anybody else?
That's my opinion.
Wait, to execute this, or wait?
No. I'm talking about the indicative bond rating.
What's the indicative rating?
I'm talking about the indicative bond rating.
Yes.
No, we got indicative bond rating.
You signed the letter, right?
Came up. Now,
That's where we are right now?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take care of that.
That's right,
All right, let's do that. I would entertain a motion to,
So moved, and
thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I will sign. Thank you.
Here, I heard somebody down there second, who was it? Okay, thank you, Bob. I heard Mike, but then I just looking at.
Making notes on it, aren't you?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I got
I'd like
to,
to see your report.
it'll be emailed from my end, I'm just gonna let you know.
All right. So, table the indicative rating, talk about it next meeting. I know it is gonna come up, depending on how far we get along on this private bond work. Private money. Anything else?
Did you get an update on the Purcell situation?
sure. I didn't know that. I was actually going to tell them, sorry, but.
I'll do the law, sorry.
Purcell.
Yes, sir, go.
They're the neighbors to the east of the Crux, and to the north of the Crux, and the last we saw from them, they demanded $300,000 for this 1.24 acres of their property, which is, compared to the amount of money that we're spending per acre, compared to what other comps are in the area, compared to what our own appraiser said, is sky high. So, we did get an appraisal for that property, which came out to $1.03 per square foot, which resulted in I don't want to get this wrong, $59,000 in value. And I responded to this attorney. I asked the easement acquisition committee if we had a reason to go to the board to really up our offer, and it was a resounding no. That's what the property is worth. And I sent to this attorney the letter, a letter stating, this is what it's worth, this is what we're willing to pay. If you have any special damages, if you have any special circumstances, please let us know. We'll consider them. I haven't heard back yet.
Okay.
But there's a very wide gulf between them and us.
Yes, that will give them access to the property, won't it, which they don't have now.
And I'm happy to offer that, but I have to hear back.
Now they put a subdivision, just
Yeah,
Just-
I mean, it'd be
a
done.
onesie, maybe, or something.
What's the road going to be allowed to be used for?
Yeah,
It's our driveway primarily, to me.
that's right.
Yeah.
Assuming it stays private, we can always dedicate it to the public. We can always dedicate
Do
it to
that
the
later.
city
Okay.
and put a gate at
That's what
our
Matt's saying.
own facility.
Yes,
They'll have to go through the county standards and all that.
well,
County standards are
Yeah,
good
boy.
standards.
that county judge is up on that. Oh, he's still here.
They're good standards. Well, what I thought I was speaking on was Toll and Sardis.
Yes, sir.
Toll has actually,
Sardis is here, Toll is not. That's Roger Jr. right there. No pun intended, my friend.
Toll has executed basically an agreement to agree if we change our bylaws and contracts to reflect, bylaws to reflect them in as a member, and contracts to reflect the lower per meter per month rate than than was contemplated earlier at $2.50.
Yes.
They also, in signing this, indicated that they would need between 0.3 and 0.45 million gallons per day in capacity. That's right there on the first page. You have one of these, right? Very good.
You better give Brett, yes.
Anyway, now that's Tull. Sardis had some questions, they had some reservations about the idea of signing an agreement to agree. I responded that this is a situation where nobody has signed the agreement that they're looking for me to generate because we haven't arrived there yet. What we did with Tull seems to work. It puts the ball in our court in the way of engineering first, costing it out second, and then constructing it out, or getting each of your constituent entities to approve the changes that are going to be needed to our contracts. Because of the bond people's request that the $175 million cap get taken out.
Yeah.
Because of the need to reduce, if we're going to admit somebody like Sardis, and hopefully attract Benton as a customer of finished water, keep the per month charge at 25 cents per meter per month rather than 250. Now that can be fixed. We cannot fix, and I know that some people would like to know certainty of what their bill is going to look like. We have fixed a formula rather than an amount, and we did so purposely. Our formula is the debt service plus the ongoing maintenance plus 10% for reserves. It's very simple. So if I asked the folks over at Sardis, is there an attorney I can talk to? Because I think they would understand this and they would approve of it. And he put me in touch with Fred Brunner, and Fred called me back today, and I had 2 phone calls with Fred today.
Good.
He understood perfectly. He indicated that he would be recommending to his client they go ahead and sign it. It doesn't bind anybody. It doesn't bind us to them. It doesn't bind them to us, unless we both agree it's worthwhile going ahead from an engineering and a financial standpoint, and then each of our constituent boards of directors, city councils, whatnot, that they approve it, the changes.
First and foremost, we need the engineers to bless this amount of water they're going to be taking. And that's what you were saying.
Yes,
That would be
sir.
the first thing.
Yes, sir.
And so we don't foresee a problem there, but it was brought up a long time back. And So when Matt does that, then we'll come back here.
It's not only capacity, it's the cost of bringing the water through
Yes.
whatever dedicated pipes we already have or we might install. So the ball's gonna be in his court once we get it back from Sardis.
I went to the Tull Council meeting on that, and they approved this thing, they're all in. They tried to give me a check for 25 cents, and I said, no, we can't. I'd like to, I said, but anyway, they're gonna be talking to Benton and working out some other things, but they want us to know they're in, just let them know when and what they need to do. So we'll be having a meeting with them before long, so.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir. Anything you'd like to add, my friend?
Well, just, I think that I missed today with my wife having surgery, but if Fred is okay that we're set to have a special meeting to.
I was hoping y'all would do that, yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let me get back and talk to Roger and see if we can't get that set up, and hopefully we'll be on board too.
Go with the version Fred has. It's one step more updated than the one Roger
Okay.
has. Okay. The one Fred has is the best, the latest, the greatest.
Okay.
And I couldn't make it to that meeting like I did Tull. I apologize for not being there. I will do better on that. That just didn't work. And so this,
I think you understand our board pretty well.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You bet. Well, thank y'all for being patient on this, and we're really working to get y'all in. That's gonna look good on our funding too, if we can pick them up. That's big.
Real quick, and something you said about making sure we have enough water. If the organization goes to a volumetric rate, is it necessary within the contract to have a 100% and a 1.5%, that's all you can take? I'm asking.
It's not all you can take. It's what we can guarantee delivery of on any one given day. The minimum is monthly, the maximum is daily.
So you guarantee that amount?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I understand. Okay, misunderstood.
We okay with that, Matt?
I'll talk to Perry about it.
Okay. Good enough.
Contract says.
Yeah. And what we're talking about is the size of that treatment plant when we build it.
Oh, I understand that part.
When we build it the first time, so.
But I can tell you, when they come in and they're looking at your usage, and this is going back to Mariah's concern, they look at your average daily run.
Actual usage.
Right, they look at actual usage and they look at your average. They don't go, well, this is your peak day and you got to make your plant bigger, because you're not running that every day. They assume you have storage, because.
Yes.
Yeah, it's your actual usage. It's
Yes.
not your contractual.
Right, that's correct.
All right. Good. Any more questions? I'm glad we took a while to get here with Sardis and Tull. I'm excited. We're to the public comment. Anyone here would like to get up and ask questions, anything of this board, we'd be glad to answer it, all but you. Thank you very much. Next meeting date, everybody see that? February 26th.
Mr. President, would you like to adjourn?
Well, I think, just hang on 1 minute.
I was fixing to write, I was like.
No? Let's wait till next month. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned. Thank you.